Mohács. Throughout the year, a peaceful calm rules over the city's streets, but if we take a closer look at our surroundings, we'll realize that months of loud preparation are taking place behind closed doors. For what? For the 6 days when life turns upside down in this town and these masks are worn. Together with the Jankeles and Sokci girls, the naughty Busós descend upon the 900-year-old town. Poklade, as Busójárás is called in Sokci, takes place during the days before Lent that lead up to Shrove Tuesday. In truth, this tradition was brought to Mohács by the Old Croatians and Sokci from Old Bosnia. Catholic Croatians were settled here, and they brought with themselves this old Sokci folk tradition. It has a very beautiful love story as its foundation. A girl and a boy from the local Sokci community are separated by the Turkish army, with the girl being kidnapped, and the boy escapes with his family. With the help of the grandfather, they join together, and crossing the river on a stormy night, they scare away the large Turkish army. Naturally, the young couple find each other. The folk custom that the Sokci naturalized in Mohács has become world famous. The best evidence of this is that in 2009 it was added to UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, and since 2013, the Busójárás is listed as a Hungarikum. Life stops for us 2 weeks before the Busójárás. During these days, from Thursday to Wednesday, with an official stamp from the mayor, the children do not need to attend school so long as they participate in the Busójárás. They can dance, sing, and dress up. Kindergartens and schools organize trips to the event. Despite appearances, a mask is not enough to become a Busó. While true that it crowns the attire, and that a true Busó does not remove it during Poklade, that is not how the transformation begins. The Busós first put on the white canvas trousers stuffed with straw, followed by the colorful and knitted wool stockings, which they wear with sandals. And what follows is a lamb wool coat, which there is a wide variety of, as can be seen, from the white to the black, the short to the long. What is vitally important is the haversack, which of course the Busó cannot do without, for it contains the necessary flask, which at the moment is empty, but I'm sure that will soon be remedied. The Busó groups are kept together by the contents of their haversacks, and the fleeces by a belt or cattle rope, from which they hang cowbells. In order to scare winter away, or according to legend the Turks, they have to make as much noise as possible. In addition to the cowbells, they also use ratchets. And of course, everyone takes pride in their mask, which is what makes the Busó a Busó. This mask is approximately 30 years old. It's the work of an old mask carver. Preserving the Busójárás traditions consists of more than just dressing up and the procession, or rather, it is more than the 6 days. The items related to the Busós, such as the preparation of the costumes and masks, is just as important. According to earlier traditions, many to this day carve their own masks, but even so, Mohács has many mask-carving folk-applied artists who create the smiling yet terrifying masks from willow wood. This is a grotesque wooden face. As we see, it begins as a board of wood. We can also see that it is prepared by a person. We also know that a person wears it. And when such a grotesque piece of wood approaches us, then we're not really looking at the mask, but it is our own fears that come to life, such as will it hurt us or not? And the most pleasant smile, if it is frozen and persistent, after a while we begin to feel frightened by it. It frightens as it smiles, just as when a mother chides a child. This is essentially the same. The Mohács masks smile and represent human faces with smiling mouths. It requires faith, sentiment, and motivation. In reality, I have a human face in my hands. The Mohács mask is carved from a single piece of wood, which is red willow. It needs to be painted with pig's or cow's blood. My wife assists me with this since we work in a family-operated workshop. So, we paint it with pig's blood. Let me show you an example of a painted mask. Animals are slaughtered in winter, so across families there was always some blood available. They collected it and had masks. Here's an example of an unpainted one, and then they painted it for themselves. That's all the explanation there is for painting with blood.
A maszk az valamilyen hittel töltött kultikus tárgy, és abban hiszem.
The mask is a faith-filled cultic object, and it is believed that those who can become a Busó or becomes a Busó becomes a superhuman being with a chosen power, who chases evil, fear, and cold away from us, and symbolically the winter, bringing about a certain future and survival. In other words, the Busó is a positive figure, for they love and protect us. The mask possesses superhuman strength as soon as someone wears it. The ability to be unrecognized provides the wearer with the opportunity to stretch borders and trample boundaries. Beneath the mask, a different consciousness comes to life as a true transformation occurs. It's a wonderful custom, since I do not know who is behind the mask. At the same time, for the person behind the mask, the world becomes closed, everything narrows, and their sight becomes tunnel vision. All they can see is what they are looking at. They cannot even see in front of themselves or on their sides, but they have influence whomever they look at. I can allow myself to approach the most beautiful woman, the most distinguished woman. I can do anything. And if I look upon someone, they experience fear or love. I had this impact on them. Therefore, I'm very strong. I'm a chosen person. I think it's an entirely different state of being when a person pulls on a mask. We should keep in mind that there is a truly positive attitude beneath the mask, and that the boundaries and rules are a little bit wider than when the person is in their normal civilian life. It's a wonderful feeling, and I recommend it for everyone. If we put these on and take part in the procession, I think it's the kind of feeling that can only be felt by those who have tried this, not just as a tourist. And I think it is unforgettable for everyone when they join this type of milieu and community. The person feels as if they are unbelievably powerful. Whoever has once dressed as a Busó knows what it means to be happy. They transcend into a different state of consciousness. That is precisely the aim of the mask, the transformation, the rebirth, for they are not curious who is beneath it, but about the Busó, so that's why he does not reveal himself. The secret is the whole point. Those who consider it important that their actions over those 3 days remain unknown have at least one mask that they have never worn before, or which has never been associated with anyone. We never remove the masks. In fact, we frequently exchange them, since after a while the people become accustomed to them and think, hey, this is probably him. Consequently, we exchange them among friends to ensure that no one knows who is behind the mask. If, for example, they secretly hugged or caressed girls or ladies, the mask covered their face, and therefore did not reveal who they really were. There are many who actually desire it, regardless of how strange that sounds. The ladies love it when we hug and caress them. The Busójárás is exciting not merely due to the jesting and naughtiness, nor is it loud merely because of the cowbells and ratchets. Music and dance are just as important elements on this day as was going door to door in the past. The piper frequently accompanied the Busós. They danced to it. Inside, they played around with the homeowners, on occasion even playing larger tricks if they were not received as hoped. There are many examples and stories. The Busójárás music primarily has to be loud, and that's the gist of it. The joyful, loud, rousing, and lively music is essential, and that's what the carnival is about. To be merry, to break taboos, and then all of a sudden Ash Wednesday arrives, this all ends, and normal life and work resumes.